So yeah, better late than never. The Fall of the House of Usher. This is the latest horror Netflix series given to you by Mike Flanagan, the guy who brought you The Haunting of Hill House, Haunting of Bly Manor, Midnight Mass. And this stars most of your usual suspects that you would expect in a Flanagan project, like Carla Gugino, Bruce Greenwood, Kate Siegel, Henry Thomas. And this is inspired by the work of the one and only Edgar Allan Poe. And this series of 8 episodes traces the downfall of the uber-wealthy Usher family, nothing to do with the singer, by the way. And it shows the inevitable collapse of their corrupt drug company, Fortunato Pharmaceuticals. Our narrator of the series is Usher family patriarch and Fortunato CEO Roderick, played here by Bruce Greenwood, giving a magnificent career-defining performance. Oh my god, he was so good in this. And basically, as the show begins, this all takes place in the now. And he's calling up his longtime rival, Assistant U.S. Attorney C. August Dupont, played here by Carl Lumbly. Lumbly also is wonderful in the series as well, as sort of your audience character, kind of seeing what's going on here. And Lumbly's character is basically listening to Greenwood's confession, and Roderick is a broken man at this point because he is still dealing with the deaths of all 6 of his spoiled adult children, all of which coming from 5 different mothers here. What a scumbag. And here's the tragic part. All this happens in the span of a week. And kind of looking at how these kids are and how they were raised, and the fact that they kind of were born with a silver spoon in their mouth and everybody kind of wants to inherit this wealth, you can kind of see that all these children get what they have coming to them. And let me tell you this much. As a fan of scary stuff, as a fan of Mike Flanagan, as somebody who has loved every single series he's put out on Netflix, every single film he's put out, I think he's one of the greatest minds working in the genre right now. Let me just say this. My god, Mike Flanagan, it's good to have you back. This dude honestly makes it look easy, because you've got all the similar production quality that you see in a series like Hill House or Midnight Mass, and Flanagan does not have to overly rely on the cliche jump scares that a casual horror audience would expect. No, this is a mini-series. It's a very methodical approach, and it's showing you the downfall of every single family member one by one. And I think, honestly, it's brilliant what Flanagan does here. And the influence of Edgar Allan Poe isn't so necessarily in your face as telling the audience this is who this work is based on, but the references and the allusions to Mr. Poe's work, it is so freaking subtle. And weaving some of this poetry into the monologues themselves, it's seamless. Truly goes to show you that Flanagan is a true artist. And I'm so glad that he has his crop of actors that he likes working with, and all the usual suspects that you're used to seeing out of him. Nobody gives a bad performance in this. Greenwood, like I said, career-defining work here. Kate Siegel is great, as she always is. Henry Thomas is such a big ol' slime ball. But the highlight of this series has to be Carla Gugino. And looking at her right now and just thinking about her performance in this series, my heart will kind of ache if she does not win that Emmy. Without getting too deep into what this character actually is or her relation to the Usher family, all the deaths of these children are kind of centered around this very mysterious character that Gugino is playing. Character? More like characters. Every single episode, Gugino is giving you a different interpretation of the same woman. And the fact that Flanagan can make this beautiful woman in front of you turn into one of the most sinister faces you will see all year long, television or film, like, that's an accomplishment, man. And my god, it is just so captivating watching her work. And even though this is sort of my main issue with the series, kind of the fact that you know the outcome by the end, and there's not really a sense of drama that I would have preferred in a series like this, where I'm kind of like, what the heck happens to these characters? I was still riveted by seeing how these characters came to be in the state that they were. And these are all children that really did not need any sort of introduction. Everybody had their own problems, their own addictions, and their motivation should be self-explanatory. They come from a rich family. They want to inherit this CEO's wealth. And if you didn't think there was enough development in terms of background, you didn't really need it. And just everything that Flanagan was throwing at us to scare you, the imagery that he's using, the sound design, the sound editing, and the oh so clever weaving in of Edgar Allan Poe's words. Like, the fall of the House of Usher just makes me want to get up and start saying, yeah, yeah. Last time I'll make that joke, I promise. And as I've mentioned, there's not one bad performance in here. Bruce Greenwood gives, I think, the best performance of his career. Gugino easily gives the most compelling performance of her career. I really hope that she's recognized at these award shows once it's all said and done. Even a guy like Luke Skywalker himself, Mark Hamill, appears in this as a defense attorney for the Usher family. And he's so good in this. Like, you don't sit there and you root for Mark Hamill or anything, but you just could not help but sit there and be riveted and just be like, what the hell is this guy gonna do next? All in all, in case you couldn't tell, I absolutely love The Fall of the House of Usher. I don't know if I necessarily love this as much as The Haunting of Hill House, but it's all gonna come down to subjectivity. Let me know what you guys think is Mike Flanagan's best project that he's ever put out, because you can honestly make a legit argument for any one of them. As it sits, though, The Fall of the House of Usher is rock solid as you would expect from this guy. I'm going to give The Fall of the House of Usher an A. I've missed Mike Flanagan so much, and I'm so happy that this guy continues to crank out phenomenal work. And please do consider subscribing to this channel. Thank you so much for clicking on this thumbnail and checking out the review today. Hit that thumbs up as well. Y'all are invited to join this great community over here of film lovers and entertainment lovers alike. We're going to be cranking out a lot of content over here, especially as the Marvels and Loki Season 2 are wrapping up. I can't wait to dig deeper into the MCU with you guys. And I can't wait to talk about all these other big new releases in the month of November. And I can't wait to finish up the Hunger Games playlist and the build up to the Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. Lots to look forward to and talk about, guys. Y'all are the best. Thank you so much again for tuning in. And with all that being said, back talk commence.